Shalom. I'd like to start off giving all praises and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the Akim across the four corners of the earth that's pushing this truth in faith and sincerity. This is Galatians chapter 1, verse 8 and verse 9. And it reads, But though we or or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. As we said before, so I say now again, if any man preach any other gospel unto you than that ye have received, let him be accursed. So I want to bring this out because there's only one true doctrine of the Holy Bible. It's only one true interpretation. And anybody can say, anybody of these different groups that are woke to the fact that the Israelites can say that the doctrine that they teach is the true doctrine of the scriptures. But Paul is saying right here that if you're not teaching the correct doctrine according to what Paul and the apostles was teaching over 2,000 years ago, which they are back today teaching the same doctrine, but the knowledge have actually increased. You know, he said, let him be accursed. So let's go into that word accursed, man, because you got these different Israelite camps out here that are actually communing together as if it's no problem coming together, and they all have different doctrines. You know, if you have a different doctrine, Paul said, let him be accursed, which Paul is a man of the Lord. So let's go into that word accursed. And for the word accursed, okay, so for the word accursed, the pronunciation is anathema. Anathema, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, it's G331, and the pronunciation once again is anathema. That is the Greek word for the word accursed in the book of Galatians 1 and 8, and also 1 and verse 9. And it reads, a thing set up or laid by in order to be kept. It says, especially an offering resulting from a vow, which after being consecrated to a god was hung upon the walls or columns of the temple or put in some other conspicuous place. 2, which we get into the more accurate definitions, it's a thing devoted to God without hope of being redeemed. It says a thing devoted to the Most High without hope of being redeemed. And if an animal to be slain, therefore a person or thing doomed to destruction. A curse, a man accursed, devoted to the direst of woes. So direst is basically saying extremes of woes. So that's not nothing nice, man. If you're on a different doctrine, if you're not on the doctrine of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, which entails his correct name, which the Most High's name is Yahweh, his son name is Yahweh Shai. The mark of the beast is the RFID microchip. Cornelius is an Israelite. The only way you can receive salvation is if you're of the elect. If you're of the 1/3 for those of us here in America, you know. Also, The ones that have faith and believe in Yahweh Shai, man. You can't get into the kingdom off your own righteousness. You don't have it. We don't have any righteousness. Our righteousness comes through Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Really, Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh is not dealing with us. You know, you cannot make it into the kingdom or receive the promises that the Scripture has laid out for the Israelites by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. You know, because in order for us to receive the promise, that means by keeping the law, that means we'll have to keep the law 100% perfect for us to inherit the promises. And that will make Yahweh Shai's death on the cross in vain. You know, all for nothing. And that's not scriptural, man. So, you know, I'm just bringing this out because you have Israelite groups out there as well as other groups out there, or false teachings out there that are not according to the only one correct doctrine, you know. And if you're not on that doctrine, man, it's a curse to you, meaning destruction unto you, meaning you're gonna be destroyed. And all of you that's in these different Israelite groups that's on these different doctrines, if you continue on them doctrines, you're gonna be destroyed, man. The definition for the word of curse is I'll read the second definition and the second sub definition. It reads, a man accursed, devoted to the direst of woes. Meaning you're not just gonna receive a ordinary death, man. It's gonna be an extreme death, you know. And I just wanted to bring that out. Real quick because I was reading the book of Galatians, man, and you know, Paul thought it was important to actually say that if you're not on a different doctrine outside of what he was teaching, which the same doctrine that the Apostle Paul and the other apostles were teaching, that's the doctrine that the men of Great Millstone are teaching today. And of course, the knowledge has actually increased. So if you're not preaching that doctrine, then you know, let that be a curse unto you, meaning destruction. So when the apostles come out and they say that death and destruction to all these different groups that's teaching these false philosophies, these different doctrines, you know, you're going to be destroyed. Now, there may be men in these different camps that the Most High will pull up out of that and actually have mercy on them. You know, but the ones that continue to the very end believing in these different doctrines, you're going to be destroyed, man. You know, if you believe that the mark of the beast is not the RFID microchip and you take that chip, you're going to be accursed. You're accursed. You really already accursed. Because that means you're denying Yahweh Shai. Meaning you're denying a part of these scriptures, and these scriptures is Yahweh Shai. You know, the scripture in Psalms 40:7, it says, lo, I come in the volume of the book, it is written of me. Talking about Yahweh Shai. So, man, with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I just want to push that out. You know, thought that it was, it's interesting that Paul thought it to be very important to make it clear to the church in Galatia that, which were Israelites, of course, that if you're preaching any other gospel outside of what he taught, he said, let him be accursed. Twice, in the 8th verse and in the 9th verse. Once again, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the Akim across the four corners of the earth that's doing this work in faith and in sincerity. Shalom.